Ryan's got a comment here about the offensive line, which is pretty standard just in regards to, of course, the offensive line makes it go in terms of the offense and trying to dominate the line of scrimmage. But I'll pose it this way. What would be your order of importance of the various units on both sides of the ball in regards to what needs to be the most dominant, what needs to be the most upgraded, what position units that are in question do you think you need to have questions answered in a positive way?
I think offensive line, no question. Because what the a dominant offensive line opens up so many more things for all of these other units, right? If you're, if you, I would much rather have a great offensive line and maybe just an average running back, because a great offensive line could make an average running back good. Now, if you have a great running back and a just average offensive line, it diminishes that value. So I would absolutely say, and really on both sides of the ball, I think that's just really the difference in where Oklahoma's been historically, specifically on defensive line. But I think just going forward, you want to have on both lines scrimmage, because that allows so much on other side, your complementary or your specifically offensively, your skill position. You give Gabriel time, you give the running backs room, you allow the wide receivers more time to create separation, because at this level it's very difficult for defensive backs and safeties to cover these receivers for more than 5, 6, 7 seconds. So I think that would lead Oklahoma to be a much better version of itself here in 2022.
It's been about 2 months plus since Malachi Coleman gave us his final list of teams. Do we have any reason to believe that anything's moved the needle since then?
Yeah, I haven't. There's nothing that I've seen. I think the biggest thing with Malachi Coleman is he's going to visit Oklahoma. Oklahoma hadn't had that as up until a few weeks ago. So you obviously have to give right now until he makes it on campus. At this point, you have to give Nebraska the advantage. Just based on where he's at, all the people around him, supporting Nebraska and being a Nebraska guy. But if Oklahoma is able to get him on campus, which he's scheduled for visits, but you know how that goes with kids. Sometimes they cancel, or they've got people in their ear. They get more interested in another school. So I think it hasn't really changed, but I think if Oklahoma gets Coleman on campus, I think that could be a big opportunity for them. He's still, I believe, October 15th, I think, is still his announcement date in terms of a commitment. So the longer this goes, I think it's the better it ends up being for Oklahoma. So I don't know that I've seen an official in terms of when he's coming in. Obviously, you would think it would be early in the September, maybe the first couple of games, or certainly before October. The other thing that you could think about here from a Malachi Coleman perspective is Oklahoma's the designated home team this year for the game against Texas and Red River, so they can actually bring in recruits for that game. So it's just a big, huge advantage for whoever's the home team is that year. So I think that is a possibility. But yeah, no news. But I think the longer that goes, the better it is for Oklahoma.